Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a Xenophase blade build for the Techmarine class in Space Marine 2 Patch 12. Now, the Xenophase blade is actually pretty good with the Techmarine, mainly because your servo gun strikes can actually stagger them immediately into your power rigs, and the Xenophase blade also got a base damage buff in patch 12 of like 15%, so it's actually better than ever in this patch, and those extra power rig damage waves, they do help out a lot. You can also simultaneously trigger things like Furious Gunstrike for 25% more melee damage immediately into a power rig, so a really powerful option, and it's one of the reasons that the Techmarine is so good with slower weapons, because having free gun strikes just means you're able to stagger enemies into your heavier attacks. Now, for the perk tree here, I do take armor strength first. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. Moving here to the perk Master of Offense for 20% more damage on a melee combat switch. Into the perk here Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength again through Tranquility, Melee Onslaught for 10% more melee damage. Into the perk Hard Target, and of course the perk Cutting Edge. This will give you 50% more damage on your power rigs. This is pretty much the one you always take because power rigs are just the best attack on this weapon by far, especially on a Xenophase blade where you just have better power rigs with a wider radius anyways, so definitely good, or excuse me, wider angle here. And then next perk here is Extremis Slayer up here into the perk Majoris Slayer, and then we take the perk Terminus Slayer, and the final perk is Power Restoration for double CHP recovery in power style, because a lot of people ask me this of like which style should you use in this game. When it comes to the power sword, power style is usually good for Minoris enemies because you have a ton of gun strike setups off this one, and having more CHP against them is usually very helpful, and speed style is like okay, it's mainly for like single target Majoris and stuff like that, but usually I take the double CHP recovery on this one. That's pretty much all there is for the power sword here. Now, for the secondary options, I do take the Inferno pistol on this build, though you could take a rate of fire plasma too if you wanted. The main thing about this is if I'm fighting chaos, I want an option to stagger, because in Space Marine 2, any stagger like an Inferno pistol, charged plasma shot, even a Neo-Volkite explosion, these will stagger the missile terminators out of their minigun stance, and the minigun stance is like the only time they're particularly dangerous. So usually you want to have like a stagger option for them, and unfortunately the Oculus up here doesn't do that for us, and the Xenophase blade can, but it's like not super practical, so taking one of these is pretty good for that. Now, for the perk tree here, we just go all the way down the bottom tree because this gives you more effective range. I do take the ammo variant because usually the ammunition on this one's quite nice. I like the fatter magazine capacity. The rate of fire one is okay. I think this one's like a little overrated, to be honest, but you know, if you want to take either one of these, you really can't go wrong. But for the rest of the perk tree, it's just perpetual range up here into the perk Great Might, increased capacity, adamant restoration for ammo restoration on the perk, and then the final ones here are extra shot for an additional cartridge, and of course trick shot for armor every 30 seconds on killing 5 or more enemies with one shot. This is actually very useful on both Chaos and Tyranids because cultists die in one shot. Even some of the Zangors can die pretty easily to this sometimes, and Hormagaunts especially will die in one shot, so really good for that. Now, for the primary weapon, I do take the Oculus Bolt Carbine ×2 headshot multiplier version. This one actually pairs very well with the perk over here, a long range barrage for 25% more damage at a greater range than 20 meters, because you also have perks in the actual perk tree like remote threat. Enemies at a distance of more than 25 meters take 20% more damage. These actually pair very well together. Next perk here is Elusive Precision, moving here into the perk Fast Reload. Then I pick up the perk Finisher Reload because being able to instantaneously reload your weapon on a finisher is actually pretty good in this game. You definitely notice when you take this off. And the next perk here is of course Recoupment, because getting Armor Restore on Techmarine is incredible. The thing about Techmarine is you have the lowest HP total in the entire game tied with the Sniper class, but Sniper has a ton of health damage reduction, and the Techmarine only has range damage reduction perks like Omniscient Axe Deflection, some very conditional perks like Reinforced Position, or things like Armor Regen with Battlefield Repairs. So when your armor breaks, you are kind of screwed, so having more armor helps him out a ton. Next perk here is Extended Magazine, down here into Divine Might. Then I pick up the perk here, Magazine Restoration, for even more ammo recovery for HP drops, though to be honest, sometimes the Techmarine will literally just explode if your HP drops, so taking Rapid Health is definitely a good option too if you want to do that. And the final perks here are Increased Capacity, Divine Might again, and the perk here, Able Damage, for a 20% damage increase for 10 seconds after using class ability. Now, my testing for this gave me the highest damage, and that's pretty much all there is for the Oculus Bolt Carbine. Now, for the perk tree here, I do take the perk Plasma Enhancement first. The servo gun now fires exploding plasma projectiles at enemies. This one is the best for horde clear and the overall highest damage when you pair it with the perk over here, Omniscience Fury, to make them go on fire, because the burn effect in Space Marine 2 is ridiculously powerful. Now, the only downside of the plasma enhancement is sometimes your shots will miss because they are pretty slow, or they'll get caught on like the same enemy over and over. That does suck, but for the most part, the bigger the horde, the more it will perform. Next perk here is Arc Cleave. Damage from charged melee attacks increases by 20%. This is the exact same perk effect as Overcharge on the Bulwark and Assault. Even though it doesn't say it works for held attacks, this will boost up your power rate damage, so definitely pick this up. Next perk here is a Long Range Barrage for the reasons I previously mentioned. Moving here into the perk Battlefield Repairs. Team members restore 1 additional armor segment for finishers on Majora's or Extremis enemies. This is just the best team perk on the Techmarine currently. This is much better than the other two. It got buffed up a while back, and ever since it has been the best option. Next perk here is Inexorable Salvo for no knockback on servo gun activation with a 15-second lingering duration. This is a pretty useful option, and getting no knockback in Space Marine 2 will save your life, and also the Techmarine has a longer knockdown time than most classes do, so if you do get fully knocked over, you definitely will be in a pretty bad spot, so picking this one up can definitely help with that. Next perk here is Replenishing Salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with a servo gun restores 1 equipment charge. The cooldown is 75 seconds. This is super easy to trigger, and a 75-second cooldown like Crack Grenade, Shock Grenade, or Melted Bomb will save your life sometimes, so definitely grab this. Though I will say the perk up here, Augmented Tarantula, is also very strong because the sentry guns are actually pretty good. Next perk here is Fortifying Salvo for armor restore on a for armor restore when you kill an enemy with a servo gun or incapacitate them with a 30-second cooldown. Like I said before, armor restore in the Techmarine is super valuable, and this one is great for that. And the next perk is Omniscience Fury, because servo gun shot setting enemies on fire is incredibly powerful as an effect in Space Marine 2, so you definitely want this one, especially with the plasma enhancement and the standard bolter option. Now, for our prestige perk here, we take chain headshots first. Headshot damage increases by 3% per consecutive headshot, up to a maximum of 15%. The bonus lasts 5 seconds without landing a headshot. If you're taking a bolter weapon, you just pick up this perk because it gives you a ton of free damage. Next perk here, you also pretty much always pick up, which is Unflinching Focus. You are invulnerable to damage while activating torrential sentry guns. Without this perk, your sentry guns can straight up get you killed almost, so definitely pick this up pretty much all the time. Next perk here is Stim Boost. Medicaid stims restore 40% more HP. Like I said before, the Techmarine has the lowest HP total in the game with very little in the way of health damage reduction, and because of that, being able to go above breakpoints that could potentially one-shot you is super powerful on him. Definitely grab this one. Final perk here is Furious Gunstrike. After using Gunstrike, melee damage increases by 25% for 5 seconds. When it comes to using the Power Rake on the Power Sword here, you want to get a parry first on your Xenophase, and then you want to use that Servo Gunstrike opportunity to set up your Power Rake, and when you do that, you will get the Furious Gunstrike trigger as well for even more damage. And that's pretty much all there is for the perk tree. That's pretty much all there is for this build. The Xenophase Blade and the Power Sword are actually like a little underrated in the game at the moment. It's not the Power Sword's like super strong. I do kind of prefer the Xenophase over the other options because like the block version. But on Techmarine, the Xenophase actually slaps pretty hard, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And if you want to watch me live to ask me questions about the game, since I do stream all the time, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
This is not the trials ahead. Our duty compels us.
By comparison. The reason we take the Inferno pistol on this build is because having any form of stagger against Missile Terminator is very useful.
This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
Oh, did you do a run with the absolute worst perk and weapon combo? I mean, probably wouldn't be impossible, but no.
This relay is a crucial communications hub. Without it, this sector will be cut off from the Imperium. Without astropods, this relay will be rendered worthless. We should seek them out.
Us really min-maxing every breakpoint is not much diversity at all. Yeah, and that hardly matters in this game's content anyways. Like, a lot of the times, outside of, like, melee breakpoints, which are pretty easy to find, the range breakpoints don't matter that much at all. And they're usually, like, people usually get them on accident. FTG, do you ever get bored of SM2? Yeah, 5,000 hours in the game. Yes. Love the vids, thank you. There will be many more. So the thing about the Techmarine here, so now we're in game. Let's show. When you get a servo gun strike, you can use this to stagger them into your shit. So, okay, well, we didn't do it right there because we turn on our servo gun. Another thing is when your servo gun is active, you can't get a servo gun strike. Now we're gonna throw this so we don't get a minigun. He should do a melee hit on us. So we're gonna stagger him again, and that's gonna just that bonus. And now he's down, and because of the stagger plus the furious gun strike bonus we get, it's just free melee damage for the power rate. Like, slower weapons on Techmarine are actually quite good. Oh god, that does so much damage. And that's the longer knockdown time. That's the longer knockdown time in this class as well, in case anyone was curious. Techmarine has a longer knockdown time than most classes besides Sniper, but Sniper also has, like, a camo cloak and a bajillion invulnerability perks and damage reduction. On this class, if you get knocked down fully, because the way that knockback works in Space Marine 2 is you have staggers and then you have, like, actual knockdowns. If you get your ass put on the ground as the Techmarine, you are highly likely to just get exploded because you have the lowest HP total in the game. And the worst case scenario is what happened just there, where I got stomped once. But I had no armor. Because you have no damage reduction on this class at all. There are 0 health damage reduction perks outside of reinforced position. That's something you have to be very mindful of. Like, you can't be overzealous on the Techmarine. You have to play like you're 5 seconds from death at all times. Because you are. Like, Techmarine runs, they just end. All the primaries available to Techmarine have terrible CHP recovery. It's definitely not true. You have grenade launcher. Like an instant full.
Gun strike ready to deploy.
Alright.
Inserting fresh magazines.
If we get like a melt bomb or something, that'd be nice. I kind of want that turret down there. Please don't shoot me. Oh, we got the full value out of that turret.
Repurposing battlefield sentry. Vile monstrosity reduced to base components.
Post your Vanguard class back at April Fools, and you were like, "Hey guys, FTG here. Today I'll be reviewing the best class in the game." And have the video end. I mean, Vanguard is an overly played class in this game. It always has been now. And I mean, the case in point is you'll read comments that say things like, "I actually disagree. Whenever I play Vanguard, I do the most." And it's like, okay, so we're using you as the metric for like the entire game's class performance. Why? Love the occasional frame drops. I've been fucking around bitrate recently, so that's probably why. Right. Perish. FTG, have you ever ran an ultimate ratio build? I don't think I actually have, because shit. That's the worst heroic in the game right now, in my opinion. There is no reason to take the ultimate ratio over a balanced Omni-Cyanax pretty much ever. A very bad weapon. I see people glaze that thing all the time though, which is like so shocking to me. I'm like, why are we glazing like the worst heroic in the entire game? It doesn't even hit the proper breakpoints half the time. In fact, the Omni-Cyanax, I'm pretty sure the balanced one does more damage on the charge.
Gunstrike ready to deploy.
Delta ratio looks great, that's about it. Well, lucky you, you get to put it on to a, I'm gonna use this leveling, true. I made a balanced Omni-Cyanax guide, and people were like, well, you should actually try out the ultimate ratio. It will actually one-shot guys on its charge attack. It doesn't even, like, through all the time, but also... There was no startup on that at all. It just shoots me with an unblockable with 0 ping.
Servo harness gun available. Activating tarantula sentry gun.
I'd actually go as far as to say the Omni-Cyanax is a limited variant in terms of good weapon types in the first place, because oh my god, that's a lot of sorcerers. Well done, turret. You're promoted to phase 2. I'll say this next week's, you guys, is going to be hilariously easy, by the way. Like, hilariously easy. People are going to be like, what the fuck is this?
champion in the ether. Approach and binge upon their suffering.
The astropath has become a conduit for their ruinous powers. Full tentacle force authorized.
Changer of ways, grant us implements of retribution.
Stop it before it conjures more of its wretched breath. To take the astropath out, eliminate that altar.
No! Not like that. So we had to hide behind the thing there. So if you hide behind this little turret. Why is it saying so much shit at me all of a sudden? Come on, come on. Techmarine, do you think the Techmarine is a buff? I mean, he's definitely strong. He's just very squishy. I would say he already got a buff with the Battle repairs. It definitely made him way better. Like, double armor, restore, and execute is very strong in this game, but still. Especially for a class that's prone to getting chipped by range damage. Why did they do that to me? If you hide behind this, they can't actually hit you. Is a buff to his charge team perk for real? Yeah, I mean, that one wasn't actually that bad back in the day. If you say so. But the backseat using your frag might have helped. I mean, probably doesn't do a ton of damage there. The time we could have spent doing that would have been better to just do the power rolls what we did. We also run the risk of blowing ourselves up with a frag and getting staggered there, but it killed us. Dude, why do you keep moving? Alright. Oh, that's actually bad. For that reason. Low HP. I thought we'd be able to nuke him down a bit faster than that. We got in my turret range. Instead we got left with double reinforcements. That's okay, we can handle this. It's just Is everything but the base game just a cosmetic pack? Yes, sir. Wow, another one. Lucky us. What are consequences? How do you get up that fast? Are you just accused of Techmarine of getting up fast? That's the lowest knockdown, the slowest get up speed in the entire game. Sure, I'll do some damage, right? Look at that knockdown time. You are not forgiven for your fuck-ups on this guy. The only thing you're forgiven on is, when you want to do that. If you get knocked down once by this boss, like, you're just gonna lose your CHP a little bit. Not much you can do about it. You don't get up fast enough.
Sorcery suspected. This place burns with corruption. Whoever finds us an exit will have my thanks. I'll seize that light. Must eradicate that transform. Vile monstrosity reduced to basic weapons. Reloading.
such a slog with Techmarine. I forgot. No, we has a little bit of trouble with the Chaos Spawn portion. We'll see. Where's that one even going?
Replenishing ordnance. Fresh ammunition acquired. The beast is disarmed. Attack.
Boss is so not melee friendly. Whoa, that's a ravenous good beam.
Servo gun is fully operational. Rearming walking.
Whoops. My actions use that.
Cycling cartridges. Let the servo gun do its job. Inserting fresh magazines.
Alright. We might need... We might wind up needing that relic, you know. Never know.
Creature is protecting itself. Save your ammunition.
Ow, ow, ow. Especially if they do that shit to us.
Techmarine never end. Do not let a single unholy cur touch that beast, brothers.
Oh, there's a Chaos Spawn double kill. One fuck up.
Minion on the wall. Purified. We interrupted the hellstorm.
This guy's gonna fit right into siege mode. This is gonna be end of wave bosses. I was actually worried about it. The thing about Techmarine is you can't actually... If I had my servo gun up, it'd be a little difficult to kill these guys before the boss gets back up. You have to get rid of these Chaos Spawn. If the Chaos Spawn are up before the boss gets up, you are actually just kind of cooked. Oh, not expecting that at all.
Gun strike ready.
So the way to dodge this is just run. Like if you roll dodge, you'll still get hit. You have to walk out of it. Kind of hard when it's also doing that shit to you, but what you do?
Rearming walking. Servo gun strike in progress.
That's probably the hardest part done.
Honest gun available. Servo gun in cover. The beast is nearly spent. Execute target now.
And it wasn't clean, but... Is there any benefit to shooting the orb of his head? Disco ball. Nice little disco ball.